Let's see. We're still waiting for that 5 minute. Yeah, waiting for the 5 minute opening range. So we'll see what that 5 minute gives us. Waiting for the 5 minute opening range. So we'll see what that 5 minute gives us. All right, here's the 5 minute chart. So I'm gonna wait for this first 5 minutes to form and see what happens. Starting to push above VWAP. See how big this range is gonna be. Long or shorts today? I'm not biased in any way yet. I'm gonna wait for the range and then the first 5 minute range and see what happens from there. And take a setup like I did yesterday. But we're pretty, I would say we're pretty bullish as of now. We're above VWAP. We're putting in a pretty large 5 minute range. It's a good rule. I like this too because it keeps you out of the open of the market, right? You don't want to really trade the open. It's so volatile and sometimes it gets pretty crazy. And typically, right, a lot of times when you wait for the first 5 minutes and then if it breaks to either direction and kind of holds, typically that's the direction for all morning long. So bullish or bearish. It kind of gives you that idea of, are we going to be bullish or are we going to be bearish for the rest of the morning? All right, we got a minute left. 1 minute left until this range finishes up. We got highs up there. There's pre-market highs. Let me see. I think those are... Yeah, we got pre-market highs up there, so it may want to take out those pre-market highs. Looks like it. Alright, coming up. I'm gonna get my tool ready. My line. Alright, there's the first 5 minutes we got. Alright. Mark out the high of the first 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna mark out the low of the first 5 minutes. So there's that range. There's that range. We'll see what happens here. Can we close outside the range and then maybe get a setup back into the range? Not closing outside of it. Oh, wait. Crap. I'm on the 5 minute chart. I gotta move to the 1 minute. Freaking A. Alright, still hasn't closed above the range on the 1 minute. We swept pre-market highs. So pre-market highs are taken out, but it has not closed above the range. So nothing. I need it to close outside of the range for me to be able to get something. Waiting for a breakout. No, my what I'm waiting for is price to close outside the range. Outside the range, and then we get a push back into the range, forming, since we're up here, a bearish fair value gap to take a short off of to the next kind of liquidity point. Since view op is right there, it would have to be a quick scalp, very quick scalp, because view op is right there. So, but like I said, it was close to closing outside, but not quite. So I can't really. No trade yet. She edged it. Yeah, she came super close, and then just nada. We took out pre-market highs though. She failed to close outside the range, and we're just pushing right back into the range. Now, this is a crucial area to see if view op. Is view op gonna hold? It's gonna push back up, or are we going for those lows down there? I don't mind going for those lows. It's booming. Looks like it wants to go for those lows. Yeah, I'm waiting for the 5-minute. I almost thought I was gonna get a setup up here, but it failed to close above the range. I need it to close above the range. It's just part of the. Now we're pushing back into the range, down to the lows. Yeah, I got my 5-minute marked out. So, right there. If you could see that. So, there's that 5-minute range. The top of the 5-minute range, and then there's the bottom of that 5-minute range. Alright, we're below. We just... whoa. We just pushed below view op. I'll let her do what she want to do. I don't see my trade. Yeah, you let NASDAQ do what it wants to do, and then if you get a setup, you get one. If not, then not. Then stay, you know. Yeah, either one. I'm looking. Either it breaks the bottom or it breaks the top of the range. So far, it's still in the middle. But it could easily, if it comes down here, breaks the bottom of the range, and then starts ripping back up, leaving a bullish fair value gap, then I'm going to take that bullish fair value gap to the next liquidity point. I would have to see where we are on the chart if I do enter. Because view op is literally right in the middle of the range, so I gotta be careful. If I'm entering like above view op, it's a little better, but if I'm entering below view op, it's a little more, you know. Just gotta be careful where I take profit. But yeah, in simple. And basically what I'm looking for, and how I did the trade yesterday, right, is you mark out the first 5-minute range, the first 5 minutes that opens up. So I have these two lines right here. That's the 5-minute range. I wait for price to break out of the range. I'm on a 1-minute chart. Wait for price to break out of the range, start closing above the range, push back into the range. So down here, right, if price closes below the range, we get a push back into the range, leaving behind a fair value gap, but the gap has to be inside the range, right? If the gap is outside the range, it doesn't count. For me, the gap, push back up into the gap, close back inside the range, and it leaves behind a bullish fair value gap. That's my entry off the bullish fair value gap to go to the next liquidity point. So we'll see. The only thing that sometimes it sucks because when it breaks out of the range, either it pushes back into the range, or sometimes it breaks out of the range and it continues going lower, you know. And in that case, either you wait for it to kind of start breaking back into the range, or you just don't get a trade. But the idea, right? Every time we kind of push into this range, this first 5 minutes, there was a lot of volume traded within the first 5 minutes of market open. So kind of anytime we're in this range, right, there's a lot of volume traded at this area. But it doesn't have to retest the bullish fair value gap just as long as it makes... No, I take my entry off the gap, so that's where my entry is. So if it pops up, you know, so if it pops up, say a bearish example like here, if it would have closed up here, left behind this bearish gap, see how it just dumped? My entry would have to be somewhere inside the gap. Could be the beginning of the gap, could be the middle. Usually I would like to do the beginning of the gap just in case it taps right into the gap like this, right? So it would have to be entry inside the gap somewhere. But yesterday was my first day trading. Yesterday was my first day doing this strategy. Actually, like, I did back testing, but yesterday was the first day that I actually took a live trade with it, and ended up being good. But do we have news today? News. What time is it? 9:44. Shoot, 9:45 news. We got news in like a minute. And then 10 a.m. PMI news. It's pretty heavy news at 10. So 9:45, 10 a.m. Got to be careful. Could just be waiting for. But the 9:45 news is yellow folder news. 10 a.m. news is red folder news. So yeah, 6:40. Well, Pacific time 6:45, Eastern time 9:45. Yeah, when I say my times, it's I'm going by Eastern time. Yeah, I did. I used Forex Factory. I'm not using the other one anymore. Ever since yesterday, it showed me yellow folder when it was actually red folder. So I'm just gonna use Forex Factory from now on. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, look, I'm actually curious. Forex Factory had it at red folder. What does FinViz have it at? Today's Thursday. See, like, how do they determine if it's red or orange? Because this economic calendar has it as orange folder news. Forex Factory has it as red folder news. Like, what determines a red folder or an orange or a yellow folder? Because it seems like everyone has their own. I guess we'll see. Obviously, the yellow folder news came out, did absolutely nothing. I funded my Ninja Trader and I still can't do simulation. Any other suggestions for sim? You should call up support. You can call Ninja Trader support. They should be able to help you. There should be simulated trading on Ninja Trader. You should be able to do it. That's what I would do. I would figure out, contact customer support and have them help you setting it up. Bro, we're still inside. Actually, this is good. I would rather it be inside the range until news comes out. Not like yesterday. Freaking yesterday I was in that trade during news, which freaking, that was too much anxiety. Could be rebalancing to this gap. We have a couple bearish gaps up here. And see how it didn't take out the lows. This is what I talk about. Like, sometimes having TPs at the body candle low is so much better than the low. Like, right, you're not giving away that much profit, but so much better. Like, if you had a TP at the low, look, somebody didn't get filled. It just ripped right back up, but it took out the body candle lows here. Look back at yesterday, 5-minute gap. You could made like 5K if it bounced 3 times back. Oh, yesterday's? Let me see real quick. I think I still have it marked out. Yeah. Where's that 5-minute? Oh, here it is. This one edged it. This one, so this first trade would have had to have been a break even. Remember I hopped off yesterday and I wanted it to go for this 90 level? So this would have had to have been a break even. The first, right? I entered off, well, I was looking at it, but you enter off, hold on, where was it? You enter off, where's the bearish gap? There's a bearish gap somewhere. I'm tripping. Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. So it didn't quite hit the TP. At that point, you have to move your stop to break even. Once it gets that close to your TP, stop, break even. So this would have been a break even trade. And then you kind of get another. Look, it pushes back into the range and then ends up going for that low down there. But yeah. Yeah, it gave multiple setups. Even this one, look at this one right here. Closed back into the range. First gap went all the way down for those lows. Yeah, it gave like multiple entries. So, yeah, man, that's crazy. It was the first one, yeah. That first, I was just confused because of, but yeah, it was. That's what I've noticed. If it comes super close to your TP, within like 10 points away from TP, and then starts ripping back to the upside, there has to be a break-even stop set in place, just in case. Right, because you can always just wait for another setup, but if it starts ripping back up that fast, then it may be going for the highs again. Which a break-even stop, you know, before it used to mess up with me mentally, but like now it's like a break-even is fine if you're doing it correctly and you're doing it like a rule-based break-even. But if you're just setting break even as soon as you're in profit, that's different. That's not good. But if it comes super close to your TP and you set it at break even just to protect yourself, just in case it decides to not take out that low and rip right back up, create like a double bottom. We're still in that range. We got, what, 9 minutes till news comes out. Man. This is good, though. This is good. Stay in the range. Maybe news comes out, we break out of the range, and then we get a setup. But one thing's for sure is I don't want to be in a trade during news like yesterday. And even yesterday, I could have waited yesterday. After news came out, it gave another setup after news came out. So... yeah, that was scary, because although the trade worked out good, it freaking came really close to my stop loss. It came pretty close to my stop loss. That's the thing, is you just never know how news is gonna make price react. Oh, man. Yeah, once it started ripping, it ripped. I'm just glad they didn't stop me out and then rip it, because that's happened to me before. Yeah. That freaking trade sucked. Bro, literally, that's what I was scared of yesterday. And it literally almost happened again. Literally, the same thing almost happened where it stopped me out and then ripped. Because if it would have taken out those lows, I would have got stopped out and then it would have ripped right back up. But so maybe it is. I don't know. I have to do some. I guess it is better just to, even if you do get a setup, to not take it. Wait for news to come out. But that's tough, because sometimes you get a setup right before news and you're like, crap, this is a setup. Alright, we got 6 minutes left. Six minutes, let's see. So far, it's literally been inside the range for the first, what's been 30 minutes, almost? It has not broken once outside of the range yet. I think we are supposed to have some rate cuts coming up soon. Market edging. I think market's waiting for news to drop. Yeah. Listen, I get a little bit emotional sometimes in my trading. This is the 1 minute, but these two lines are 5 minute highs and lows marked out. 5 minutes left. This better not give me an entry in the first, right before news. All right. Yeah, like I always say, right? People see like me getting emotional. You know, it's when I'm in a trade. Listen, we're humans. You're gonna have emotion when you freaking take a trade. But You just can't let the emotions dictate your trading. Like if you take a trade and you have your stop loss and you have your TP set and you're letting your trade play out, I mean, you could be all emotional all you want, as long as you don't start making dumb decisions based on your emotions. It's funny because I try yelling and it always goes the opposite way. It does that sometimes. We are literally stuck inside this range. Price. You can Jose, if you want to kiss a dude, go to New York. Ask for go to the federal prison and ask for a dude named Diddy. I'm sure he would be happy to accommodate you in your time of need. News comes and launches it up, possibly, or it takes out the low. Let's see, when is news? So 2 minutes left till news. I mean, I think it's gonna, this thing could drop down and take out these. Look at all these stacked lows down here. Could possibly, it's already taken out pre-market highs, so it's the thing. It may, like, news may come out and then it may wick all these lows. I'm predicting it goes up. Yeah, we could be bullish. I mean, 10 a.m. A lot of times 10 a.m. we do get a reversal, so seeing if it happens. Only going up from here. I hope you're right. I hope I can get a setup to where it closes below, starts pushing back up, gives me a setup, and make some money. We'll see. The only thing is VWAP is right there, so that kind of scares me a little bit. All news today has gone up. Yeah. I gotta wait. I gotta conserve that song for when I'm in a trade. I can't waste it on I can't waste it on just random price action. I gotta wait till I'm actually in the trade. I don't know if I have a certain, number of times I can sing that song for it to work. I just don't want to risk wasting it. Right, I legit, I'm not even trolling. I had that song stuck in my head for the rest of the day. All right, news is out. News is out. Let's see, what is it gonna do? Unlimited? Dang. If that's the case. Yeah, it didn't do much. I guess FinViz was right. FinViz was the one who was right, because Forex Factory had it at red folder. That didn't move like a red folder. Moved more like a orange folder news. I mean, it did move a little bit, but nothing really. All right. Yellow folder, is it? Well, today's Thursday, so tomorrow, we don't have any red folder tomorrow? All right, NASDAQ, let's go. Give me something. Right, literally still stuck at this 5-minute range. Past It's been over 30 minutes already. Huge news tomorrow? What? What do we have tomorrow? Whoa, we got big news at 8:30. Yeah, we got a bunch of red folders at 8:30, but that's pre-market. I don't trade pre-market. We got all this trend line liquidity forming, which is also kind of a good sign. It does nothing when news comes out. Yeah, it's tough because sometimes it does nothing, and then sometimes it'll move it. Sometimes really. All right, are we gonna start breaking it? This may be the candle. And we just took out a low, too. Bruh! This thing has such a hard time closing below the gap. The what's it called? Holy crap. I mean, technically it did close. Technically that is a close, right? Barely, but it is a close. Let's see if we get a setup. No, I mean, I have to wait for price to confirm that it's gonna want to start going up. Maybe leaving behind some form of a bullish gap to go off of. We're still dropping. We have a pivot point down there. And then we got some more couple lows down there at like the 431 area. There are some lows. May want to take out those 431 lows. Where's 431? 4. Oh, pretty much right at that pivot point. So, we'll see. I would want it to take out these lows too. I mean, it's just so it doesn't want to come back down there. Almost. It's kind of. Oh wait, there's the lows. There, it took out the lows. Now, are we gonna get the move back up, or is this done for? Is this gonna be a continuation all the way just down? Yeah, if it's closing below like this, I'm looking potentially for a long setup. So in order for me to get a long setup, this price action has to go back into the range. And then while it's pushing into the range, it has to leave behind some kind of a bullish fair value gap. And then once that bullish gap gets formed, you wait for a pullback into the bullish gap to your next area of liquidity. But as of now, it's not confirming it wants to. It's not even closing back inside the gap. So that's also the cool thing, right? You don't take a trade. You're not trying to guess really where. You're waiting for price action to form. You're not trying to catch the bottom like, oh, it's at the bottom. Let me try to long down here. We may be going up. Or we may keep dropping. We'll see. There's a pivot point here, so this could be a reversal area for price. It's kind of got to get through this resistance here, close above the gap, and start kind of ripping, showing that it wants to go maybe for these highs up here. All right, starting to get a little bit of a push, but brought it right back down. If it retests the gap and rejects, you could... Yeah, I was looking at that too, because I have noticed a lot of times when price closes below the 5 minute, A lot of times it'll stay below the 5 minute. Like it'll have pushes up to it and pretty much price action's bearish for the rest of the morning. I just don't I don't know. I'd have to do some back testing on what setup would be the best on it. Like, do I take the first bearish gap? You know, it's kind of tough to know. But for these, I'm gonna wait for this specific setup here, these accounts. Da, 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 da. Looks like sellers are still, man, holding it down. It's 10 o'clock. I mean, it could reverse. Only thing is we got freaking view op right there. That's what kind of makes me a little I don't like longing into view op. It's retesting the... Now here's a pivotal thing. Is it gonna reject off of it? Or is it gonna break through and start kind of moving back up into it? Looks like it's starting to kind of... Oh, we'll see. Too early to say. But there's a resistance now. This whole this whole time that we were kind of bouncing off the range, now it's kind of holding as resistance. What's it gonna be, NASDAQ? What's it gonna be? Still having trouble. Looking for shorts? Yeah, shorts aren't a bad bias right now since we're kind of rejecting off that range. This could be a time where if price starts breaking the lows, it could be just a day where we're just bearish, making lower highs. But, you know, it's a tough, you gotta have a specific area to know where to enter off of. Like, there's a tiny 1 minute gap here, but I haven't back tested it enough for me to actually like take a trade off this. Like, I'll wait for the specific trade I'm looking for. But yeah, if you're looking for shorts, not a bad, you know. It could go, this is an area where it could go either way. I mean, if price starts breaking above this kind of structure up here and start moving up, right, that could be a sign of once it breaks through it, it could hold it as support to continue going up. But really, you just don't know where it's gonna, you're guessing really. What up, what up? There's news going on now. It's probably going to consolidate until news settles. Well, news was at 10 a.m. News already came out. Any advice for someone looking to day trade? Yeah, trade a simulated account. Become obsessed with trading, trying to figure out a strategy that you like, and just stick to that strategy. Trying to, you know, try to trade that strategy. But in the beginning, it's gonna be difficult. And then eventually you trade simulated, you find a strategy you like, you prove to yourself that you can make money using that strategy, and then you can go to funded accounts, buy an evaluation, pass the evaluation, get funded, and and then you can start taking payouts. So in essence, you were, you know, investing very little money, and you can get pretty big returns if you actually learn the skill of it. All right, we're pushing back into it. Now, see what happens. It's a little, I don't like the view op is right there. One thing I really don't like. Is this gonna be a gap? Oh no. Ah. Nope. No gap. Got me a little excited that this was gonna be a gap forming. Nada. Said nada. But yeah, YouTube's your best friend. Don't buy anyone's course. Don't spend any money, because realistically, you're not trying to. This is a skill you don't want to necessarily try to learn, you know, fast to try to make. Everyone wants to learn this kind of a skill, you know, within a month or whatever. And YouTubers will tell you, try to buy their course, and oh, I could have you profitable in a month, but something that works for one person, a strategy, may not work for you. So. And pretty much everyone who sells a course has their free information on YouTube. You just have to do a little bit of digging instead of it being laid out perfectly for you. But yeah, just consume content, different strategies. Even to this day, I mean, I still see a strategy, and I like to go back and try to back test it and see, you know, if it actually is good. And a lot of strategies I see and I start back testing it, I'm like, bro, it doesn't work. It's not working. I back tested it for, you know, whatever, how many days, and it hasn't worked one of the days. I don't know if maybe I'm not understanding it right, but it's just a strategy I don't understand well, so it doesn't work for me. I move on to something else. What strat do you use? I use first 5-minute range. Simply put, market opens, I mark out the first 5-minute range, which is this blue line you see, that's the bottom. And then this top blue line you see, that's the top. So once that 5-minute range is formed, I wait for price to close above or below the 5-minute range. So in this case, I was looking price to close, right? Closed below the 5-minute range. Has to close back inside the 5-minute range, leaving behind a bullish gap. And the gap has to be inside the range. And then you take a retracement back into the gap to target next level of liquidity. So that's in essence what, like, see, I got excited here because at first it looked like there was a gap starting to form, but it just ended up dropping, so you don't get your setup. But it's a strategy what's it called? I was looking at another strategy and I kind of realized that this happens pretty often. And so I did some back testing on it, and it was working really well. So yesterday was the first day that I actually started doing it live. And Had a winning day yesterday, so hopefully the streak continues. But something with this kind of strategy, there are days where you don't get a trade, and that's just, you got to be okay with not taking trades some days, right? And that's just the problem with some traders. They're so, trust me when I say this, this used to be me. I would not be able to walk into the market and not take a trade. Like, sit there and watch price action and potentially not take a trade. I would not be able to do that. Like, I had a point where I had to take a trade. So, and the more you trade, the more you realize not taking a trade, especially when you have a setup and the setup just doesn't form, you don't get, you don't get the entry you want. If you don't take a trade, that is still a winning day, right? You did not have a losing day. That's a break-even day. That's a winning day. So you have to look at it that way. If you don't take a trade, that is still a winning day. Just pump. Bro. It's not looking good. It looks like it just looks like it's gonna start trending below the 5-minute range, which could be a sign of just going short. Like, shorts may be in play even off this bearish gap. The only thing is, I don't want to take shorts. I just don't. I haven't back tested it. What I have noticed is once it does break the 5-minute range, a lot of times it just trends below the 5-minute range for like the rest of the morning. But again, I haven't back tested it. I would need to do the back testing of how, if it rejects off the 5-minute range and then we get a bearish gap like this, like what's the win rate on it rejecting the 5-minute range and then getting a bearish gap to go lower? That may be something that, maybe I'll look into, but I'll mark it out and see what happens here. Maybe it's, do you just trade full time? No, I don't. Well, full time is, when I say full-time trading, it's like till 11:30 in the morning. I don't think any trader should be on the market longer than, a couple hours. But I trade every morning till like around 11:30. So 2 hours every morning. But no, I do have another I have a business. I buy and sell cars. So but yeah, I do have another job. I don't think, and here's the thing, like, I don't think trading should be a full-time, like, thing for somebody that all they do is trade and they don't do anything else. It just puts a bad stress on your mental. So when you're relying on trading to make money, you start forcing trades that you shouldn't force because, you have bills to pay for, you need this, you need that. So you begin to force trades that you shouldn't force, and it's a nasty spiral downhill. You start forcing trades, you start losing trades, then you get more emotional because now you have to make back that drawdown, and it's a nasty spiral downhill. That's why I think even if you're making like, say you're making really good money with trading. If you're making like 20K a month with trading, I still think you should have another job to do. Like, if you're making really good money with trading, trading should fund another like business idea maybe that you have, or maybe you want to start some other business, But I don't think trading should really ever be, a main source of income. The only time trading can be a main source of income is if already you've stacked a lot of money and you can trade without emotion. You don't have to worry about paying for bills because you already saved up a lot of money. Then, your mental is good because you don't have to make money this week. And like, every strategy, you're going to have possibly a losing week. Like, there's no such thing as a strategy that's profitable every single week. So, just put yourself in the shoes of you having bills to pay and you just had a losing week in trading and you have bills to pay for. Not a good place to be in. I just took my first payout, but can never imagine not having a stability of my day job. Yeah, so a lot of people on TikTok, I don't know why 9-to-5 jobs are, everyone shits on 9-to-5 jobs. Oh, you're working a 9-to-5 job, bruh. 9-to-5 jobs are good. Like, I don't know why everyone thinks that you gotta be some entrepreneur, you gotta start your own business, or you gotta... I know plenty of people that they don't want to start their own business. They're perfectly fine. Like, I was talking to someone, and he was saying, he's like, bruh, I don't want the stress of owning a business. I would rather have a good 9-to-5 job. I'd rather go to work, make my money, and enjoy my life after work. Because, right, being an entrepreneur, having a business, it's always problems. It's always something popping up, some kind of problem, and then, right, you go home and you don't relax at home. You got stuff to do at home too. You know, you got to prepare for this, or you got to do this, and it's just, business is literally always on your mind. You're working, sometimes you come in on holidays when everyone is off, you have to go to work, and I don't think, like, don't let people, talk down to 9-to-5 jobs. You know how many times I wish I had a 9-to-5 job? The amount of times where I'm working and, like, you're just having a horrible day, and I'm just like, man, I wish I had a 9-to-5 job and I have to deal with this crap. Especially the business I'm in. There's constant problems. Like, the main thing I do is solve problems. That's like the main part of the business. Everyone's not made to be a business owner. Yeah, that's true. Everyone's not made to be a business owner, and I could argue not many people even want to, like, be a business owner. Like, it's glamorized in a way that, a lot of people, especially social media influencers, they make it seem like, oh, it's easy and I'm just relaxing on the beach. Yeah, when you're selling a course and you don't have to do anything but sell a course, maybe it's like that. But actually owning a legit business is completely different. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh boy. Are we gonna get a gap? The only thing is the view up is right there. Freaking A. This is a little iffy. I would... Small business owners suffer a lot of health conditions in the long run. Yeah, it's very stressful. It's very stressful, especially when you're a small business owner just starting out. Like, you know how many small business owners, when they just start out, they don't make any money. They're literally losing money every single month. And months where you're break even, you're not, you don't have the stability of going to work and getting a paycheck. Like, if you don't make money, you don't get a paycheck. You don't pay your bills. That's why a lot of businesses go under. All right, let's see if 20, 34. I'm gonna de-risk a little bit on this trade, but may not even give me the entry. No, I'm not going short. I'm going long. Long, 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 baby. If this gives me an entry. I hope it does. Pretty much. So the only thing is, my entry's gonna be right below. That's why I'm kind of sizing down, because view op, the only thing I'm sizing down a little bit, not too much, but view op is right there. So view op just worries me. I don't know why. Is this gonna leave me, or is this gonna actually give me an entry? I got my limit order in. See if it can actually get me in this trade. I'm gonna take a quick. It's gonna be 20. Targets would be like these kind of internal highs. It hasn't really taken out 1, 2, maybe these highs. Charting it 1-to-1, so we'll see. Let the trade play out and see what happens. Oh my gosh, it didn't wake me in. How many, this is MNQ. How many days is it for an Apex evaluation? What do you mean days? What do you mean by days? Let me see. Is this seriously gonna leave without me? How long do I have to hit the target? There's no amount of time. You just, so when you buy, wait for a discount though. So like when you wait for them to have 80% off, if it's like $33 for an account, you buy, for example, you buy one account and that's $33 you're paying for a monthly subscription. So if you don't pass it in 1 month, that subscription just renews then a month later, it renews 33 bucks. So you don't have the subscription will just renew. There's no specific time frame you have to take, you know, to hit the target. You can take however long you want. Oh my gosh. Looks like my entry should have been at the beginning of that beginning of the gap. Because is this seriously just gonna leave without me? Bro, don't leave me. Baby, come back to me. No, heck no, I would never do 100x leverage. What the? Bro. Yeah, I would. You can't imagine how emotional I would get with that. Bro, stuff would be getting smashed. That's how you know you're oversized, when you start smashing stuff. When stuff on your desktop starts breaking because you're in a losing trade, you're over leveraged. Oh, don't leave me. Oh my gosh, it's leaving me. I should have had my, look how close it was to filling me. Literally like a tick away from filling me. And now it's leaving without me. Go into my TP. No! What an amazing trade. I should have had my entry at the bottom of this candle, at this wick. The beginning of the gap. So all it would have to do is just tap right into the gap, which it did. It just tapped into the gap and then left without me. So that's my fault. I should have had it literally at the bottom of this candle. Bruh! No! It left me! But, you know, listen, I'm not mad because this shows me it was another winning day, okay? Another winning day. I just didn't get filled. I got like a tick away from getting filled. And this would have been like a perfect TP. My TP would have been right there. Actually, it didn't hit TP yet. It tapped it, but... It tapped it. I don't know if I would have got filled, though. But I still think it hits it. Man. But another winning trade, which is freaking... I like to see that. It gives me that freaking confidence. See? The strategy is good. Bruh. Right, we stay out of all this mess. Boom. What did it do? Closed outside. Closed outside the range. Look, you didn't get stopped out. You're not trying to guess the bottom of the move, right? Just imagine this. How many people do you think got stopped out right here? How many people do you think had their stops below these lows? Because they saw it pushing up like this. And they're like, oh, shoot. Oh, look at that breaker block. Let me take a long off of here. It's going back up. And when that ended up happening, it dropped, stopped everyone out, and then it ripped to the upside after stopping everyone out. Right? And for me, I didn't get caught in all this because what was I waiting for? I was waiting for it to close back inside, leaving behind a bullish gap. What did it do? Closed back inside, left behind this bullish gap. Although I had my entry a little too low into the gap, I should have had it in the beginning of the gap and not like down here, so I didn't get filled on it, but that's just for next time. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it at the beginning of the gap just in case it does this, like it just taps it a little bit. But look at that, filled that gap, and then look at that, went straight for the next liquidity point. Wow, what an amazing trade. And actually the smart thing to do would have TP at... Actually, no, it didn't. It just tapped it. It's the thing. I don't know if I would have gotten filled or not. I still think it goes through this level here. Man. Like, it hurts that I missed it, but I am happy that it worked out for data purposes. Have I just unlocked the secrets of the markets? Have you taken a trade? I missed it. I was looking. I had my limit order set in right here. I have my limit order set in right below, inside this gap right here. So like I had it right there, and it was like a tick away from filling me. Didn't fill me, and then ripped without me. So the trade worked. I just needed to... I should have had my entry at the top of the gap instead of having it kind of down here. Do you use ICT? This is well, I mean, you could say like fair value. I use fair value gaps. I guess it's an ICT thing, but this strategy is not ICT. ICT does not teach this strategy. I can almost guarantee you that. I haven't found anybody actually. There's that Casper, that trader Casper, he trades ICT. He trades a similar strategy to this, but it's not the same as this. He trades it, he doesn't trade it like, he trades a continuation and he has different rules. He waits like for a bullish engulf, like he waits for way different. So it's not the same strategy. But I was looking at his strategy and that's when I realized this strategy when I was looking at his strategy. So, but this is not like, so far, I'm not saying nobody uses this strategy, but I have not found a person that uses this strategy. Look how well this freaking is working. Holy crap. It's going. Like, my entry would have been the best entry. Just created SMT. At the lows? Might look for shorts if I see the reversal. I would say be careful with shorts just because we've already taken pre-market highs. So if it goes back up to pre-market highs, it may rip through pre-market highs. And not to say, you know, but just, you know, I would say wait for like a confirmation. It could take out these highs up here. It could take out these highs and then reverse. That's possible. But we've already taken out pre-market highs, so I just don't know what it's hard to say. If it's gonna reverse up here, or it's gonna just keep ripping for the rest of the day. Because it's still in that 5-minute range. Oh my gosh. Hurts a little, man. I'm a little hurt. Like, what are the chances of it, like... like, it couldn't have wicked just a tick lower. Just a hair lower. Nope. Of course not. I was wrong. Oh man. It is coming up to that 10:30 mark. Sometimes we get reversals at 10:30, which it's at 10:39 actually, but we're trending above VWAP, so one thing you got to be careful with. Bro, I'm so freaking hungry. Holy crap. Man. I'm probably gonna hop off at 11 o'clock just because I'm so hungry. See, does it go for... No, it's back inside that 5-minute range. We are still stuck back inside that 5-minute range. And that's the idea. I mean, you get, right? Look when it pushed through that 5-minute range, right? Look at the move back up, right? We don't get this like sideways consolidation in certain areas because the first 5 minutes has a lot of volume step into the market. So when it pushes back into this 5-minute range, the idea is also you start to get a lot of volume step back in. Oh, man. But I think... let me see if... Is Apex having a sale? Uh-oh, my battery's going on my mouse. 'Cause usually Apex... No, I don't want the account. I think No, not yet. They're taking a break off from their sale. They've been, after that 90% off sale, they'll probably have a 80% off sale soon. They usually go back to 80% off. Like, kind of for me to kind of want shorts, I would want price to close right above here. Maybe even take out this high up here. Take out this high, close above that 5-minute range, and then start maybe moving back down into that range. Come on. Wow. Starting to reject off these internal highs. It could be just retracing to view op, but it is a pretty nasty candle. Pretty nasty candle. Or is it just filling these imbalances? These two imbalances could be filling it to go higher. But this is like an area, right? I would say kind of want to stay out of. We're pushing, I mean, we're pushing to view up. That's the thing is, you could get a bounce from here. Does Apex have an activation fee or is included? No, there is an activation fee when you pass your evaluation. There's an activation fee. Bruh, I'm tired. Are we gonna get a bounce here? I know. I what's it called? I go to bed too late. I don't know why I have such a bad habit of going to bed so late. I go to bed at like 2 a.m. So I gotta start. And the nights I force myself to go to bed earlier, I just can't fall asleep. What are you doing till 2 a.m.? Nothing productive. Usually just either on my phone or doing something random. Went out of service at 9:10? You lost service? But yeah, I need to start forcing myself just to go to bed earlier. I wish I could. All the times I try, I just end up laying in bed and not being able to fall asleep. Oh, you're driving. Do you drive for work or? Oh wait, is that you said you're a? Did you say you're a truck driver or? Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, Bell. My parents truck drive. They do team driving, so that's pretty like. Well, my parents make pretty good money. People People think truck drivers make good, like, they make pretty good money. And you get to travel. You get to travel all around and see different parts of America and it's bouncing off view op, but will it close above this bearish gap? Could start going for those highs again. This could be the bounce. Love your trading knowledge. How long you've been trading for? Full-time trading for about, well, when I say full-time, I mean 2 hours every morning. I don't mean like all day trading, but for 2 years, every morning I've been trading for 2 years, like consistently. And then before that, I've done penny stocks. I've been learning about trading for a very long time. But actually taking it seriously, like when I started learning about trading, I never intended it to be like where I am now. I just was interested in it. I saw like the possibility of possibly what it could become, but like I just became interested in it. I started consuming a lot of content and, you know, just having fun with it. And then I started to take it seriously like 2 years ago. But yeah, I've been all over the place. I've done, you know, options trading. I've done penny stocks. The only thing I haven't done is crypto. No, I've done crypto. Sorry. The only thing I haven't done is Forex. I never went to Forex. I went from options to futures, and ever since I came to futures, I don't think I'll ever leave futures. It's just, like, for one reason, it's because of prop firms. Second, even if I had to trade a live account with my own money, I would still do futures just because of there's tax advantages to futures trading when you trade with your own live money. There's a lot of advantages over and you know, futures doesn't have time decay and I do futures trading and options currently. Nice, yeah. Options is good. Options is good, but you know, you got to be careful with that time decay. That time decay can hurt you. Right? You could get into a trade, hold it, get the wrong, you know, if you get same day expirations and then you end up being stuck in a trade and you're back to break even and you're still at a loss, even being at break even. With futures, no matter how long you hold it, if it comes back to your break even is your break even. But with options, you have time decay, so. But yeah, if you know what you're doing, options are powerful. I like to keep it simple. I just trade futures and NASDAQ, that's it. I don't look at anything else. I just watch NASDAQ price movement and price action. Definitely futures is I use options right now. I was debating going to futures. Well, futures, the really good thing about futures is the prop firm route, right? If you are someone who actually knows, like if you're someone who actually has a strategy and you're good at trading, like you're decent at trading, you can really milk these prop firms. Like you can invest very little money, passive valuations, get put in a funded account, and then you can actually start getting payouts. You know, people getting, you know, 40, 60, people have gotten over $1 million in one payout. So just the scalability of it. If you actually know how to trade, investing little money and being able to get those payouts. But even if you don't know how to trade, like prop firms are still such a good route for experienced traders and traders who don't know how to trade, because if you're careful, right, you're in essence investing very little money. So like with Apex, like they just had a 90% off sale. If you're able to get a $17 account, or even when they usually have 80% off sale, $33 for one account, and you can make that account last the whole month and you're learning right? That's very little invested. People don't mind spending 33 bucks a month. As long as they can make that account last, they risk accordingly to stretch that account for a whole month. Because, right, let's face it, we all know, especially those who know how to trade, in the beginning, you're going to lose money. That's just a part of trading. You're going to lose money. So, you want to not lose a lot of money. So, Greeks mess you up with options. Yeah, it's tricky. Are future just leveraged options? I think they're. I mean, I guess they're considered. I don't know if they're leveraged. It's a whole different. So the futures market is a completely different market than like the stock market, right? You have the stock market, you have the futures market, and you have the crypto market. You have the forex market. Futures is a completely different market. I accidentally liked my own live. Top Step's new $500 XFA reactivation fee. They have a $500 reactivate. That is nuts. Top Step's losing it a little bit, to be honest with you. I don't know why they've been kind of, ever since they went to their own, they made people use their own platform, they're kind of slipping with their. They screwed up with that because they lost a lot of people that don't trade. Like me personally, I would not use Top Step because I don't want to use their platform. Why do I have to use their platform? So, I'm already used to what I use. Why are you making me use yours? That's something that's making me not want to buy an account at all. And I'm not saying Top Step's a bad, like they pay people out. They're not a bad prop firm, but that's something that steers me away. I mean, there's a lot of other prop firms out there, so you're not the only one that are way cheaper, right? Reputable prop firms that are cheaper. But to each his own, I guess. My funded futures released one today for 200 under mining their competition. One for 200. Yeah, I have. So the two prop firms that I have right now is Take Profit Trader and Apex. Because I got Take Profit Trader had a 40% offset. They may still have it. Take Profit Trader's sale was actually really good. They had 40% off their accounts. And if you buy them, if you buy that sale, they waive your activation fee. So in essence, all you're paying for is that $100 for like a $50,000 account was $100. And then that's it. There's no activation fee, no nothing. So when you pass, you don't have to pay any activate, which is pretty cool. Top Steps trying to make more money off the unprofitable traders. Yeah, and the sad part is, right? That's the goal. That's how prop firms make money. I mean, let's face it. Prop firms make money off of people failing accounts. So that's how it works. A bunch of people fail accounts, and then very few traders that actually know how to trade that get payouts, they get paid out from the people who failed accounts. So that's just, prop firms are a very reputable business because let's face it, most people, especially like, people, especially people that are in high school and stuff like that, they're not looking to actually learn how to trade. A lot of them. A big portion of people are just doing this as like, they're not trying to learn. They're not taking it seriously. So the amount of times I hear people like, oh, I bought an account. I blew my account today. Oh, I blew another account today. Oh, I blew another account today. It's like, bruh, if you're blowing accounts every single day, you're not taking it seriously. What the heck was that? I want to see price action come back to the 5-minute IFEG. 5-minute IFEG, let's look at it. Let's see. Not a bad. Talking about this one right here. So we got that IFEG right there. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad... It bounced off at one. It bounced off at here. The only thing that is scary, it would be at the bottom? You have it marked. Oh, this one. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, oh, this one. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... the only thing that would scare me a little bit is... we would be below view op. Man, I like... View op scares me. When we're like below view op, and view op would be like right above it. Yeah, I mean... if it's a strategy you use, then yeah, but... the only thing that scares me longing up here, look at that. We're starting to make a lower high. Right? Look at that. We pushed back up and we failed to make a new high. So we made a lower high. That's not a good sign. So this thing could drop lower. Right? Two things could happen. It could drop lower, or maybe it's forming a bull flag. It almost is kind of forming, you know, starting to form like a bull flag. So you'd kind of, like here you would have to wait for price action to kind of develop. I want to see if it comes down there because many unfilled orders down there. Yeah, yeah. And it gives you a good risk to reward ratio too. It does give you a pretty good risk to reward if you take it back up, right? Because it hasn't taken out the highs. Pre-market has already been taken out, but it came up here and it hasn't taken out the highs of this morning of when market opened. But this could be, I don't know, it may not retrace down there anytime soon. This could be a bull flag setting up for another rip higher, a rippo. It can go up or it can go down. Yeah. Yeah. That's the hard part about the market. It can go up or it can go down. Or it could go sideways. Bookmap is neutral. Oh, okay. So there's not much orders anywhere. Interesting. Like, for me, it's a little, like, I don't know. Looks like it's breaking out, but... lunchtime for Wall Street. It does, price action does die around lunchtime, so they all went to get their soy milk lattes. What's your thoughts on going short? I would need more confirmation. I would need more confirmation to go short. Like, I wouldn't just go short. Like, for me and my strategy, I need confirmation. Anything I do in the market, like, some people buy just because it's I mean, some people short because it's at the top of a range. I wait for price to confirm that it wants to go lower. What's your favorite beer? Coors. Coors all the way. How do you tell that? So, like, for example, this trade down here, right? This trade down here, I said before, what I said exactly what I was waiting for, right? I was waiting for price. So these two lines right here are the 5-minute range. So there's the top of the 5-minute, and then here's the bottom of the first 5-minute range of market open, right? I said I'm gonna wait for price to break through. I was waiting here, right here. See, price did not break through. So here, finally it broke through. Waiting for price to break through, and I said, in order for me to confirm that this thing wants to go higher, what I want to see is price push up and then form a bullish gap. So see how price pushed up here, but it did not form a foolish gap. Foolish gap. It did not form a bullish gap. So there's no entry. There's no confirmation for me. And look what happened, right? We ended up dropping all the way, taking out this low again. Right? And now look what happened when it took out this low. We closed back inside this 5-minute range. And look what happened. A gap formed. A bullish gap formed. And that's an indicator for me that this thing probably wants to go higher. What happened? It pulled back. It filled this gap. And then look at that rip higher. All the way to the freaking top. So that's what I mean by confirmation, right? Like, can you imagine how many people didn't wait for a confirmation? How many people went long somewhere right here, and then they end up getting stopped out, and then finally it gives you that confirmation to go higher. But what I mean by confirmation is it doesn't have to be that specific, but confirmation for every trading strategy, for one person's strategy, confirmation is different than for another person's strategy. Soon it came out the triangle, it bounced off the triangle is my strategy. That's not a bad strategy. That's, if you're looking for, you know, bull flags and you're waiting kind of for a bull flag to break out, maybe a gap to form and you take it off the gap, that's not a bad strategy. That's why there's like so many, and every strategy has its own take profits. It's why it's all about back testing to figure out like what works the best. Is it better to take it off the fair value gap? Is it better to take it off just like a support level here? Like, there's so many ways you can take trades that you just have to see what's the best way to take it and do the back testing. Do you only use one strategy? For these, so I try to per accounts. There's like a couple strategies that I know of, but I don't trade different strategies for the same account, right? So if I have a group of accounts, I won't trade one strategy and then another strategy on the same accounts, because then your data is all mixed up. So you want to have one group of accounts for one strategy, and if you have another strategy, you have another group of accounts. But I know two strategies. And I just started, this strategy I just realized pretty recently. So I did back testing on this strategy and it worked out pretty well. So that's why I'm kind of, yesterday was actually the first day I traded live with the strategy. And so far, I mean, it worked out good yesterday. Today was another good day for the strategy, although I didn't get filled because my order was I was like a tick away from getting filled. Almost got filled, but it ran without me. So, but the strategy itself still worked, right? So today is another winning day of the strategy. But for next time, I'm going to have my order right on top of the gap instead of kind of in the middle, especially when the gap is a little bit smaller like that. Oh. But when you're beginning to trade, it's best to stick to one strategy, and then as you get better, you can add more strategies into your... But see, like, yeah, somebody was talking about, right? Bounce off the triangle. I mean, there's so many different strategies that work. You just have to be disciplined, back test it, make sure you know, like, by the data, you're the best entries. Stick to that strategy, and if it's profitable over the long term, right? You just play the data, you play the statistics. Whenever the setup comes, you take it. But yeah, that's that. It's starting to push up. Broke out of this triangle. So bullish bull flag breakout. But that's that. Yeah. I'm gonna be, what's it called? I'm gonna hop off. I'm like super hungry, so. So, it was a W day. Trade worked out, another winning day for the strategy, so. I will be back tomorrow, 9:30 again, so stop by. And yeah, stay safe. Don't take any stupid trades. Don't overtrade. Protect your profits if you have them. Don't over risk. Right? There's always tomorrow. If you have a losing trade, there's always tomorrow. There's no reason to get emotional and start over trading and trying to make back the money, try to pass your account faster. Just be patient, right? Market's gonna open tomorrow again, so there's no reason to rush it. Where you at? Is it 8:07? Oh, it's 8:07 where I'm at. I'm in Florida, so in Florida it's 11:08. So yeah, it's already 11 o'clock, and I need to go eat. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. So hop back in, and hopefully we get another winning trade for the strategy. But yeah, so peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.